All right, it's Larry with Boilersportsfan, coming to you this Friday morning. Actually, it's about noon, and I'm just wanting to make a couple of comments about things that happened Thursday during the tournament and elsewhere in big-time college basketball, the gambling paradise. Uh, I see that Steve Luntz, a twice former assistant for Matt Painter, has left Western Kentucky, the Toppers, where he took them to the tournament 3 times, and he's been hired by Oklahoma State, currently at the very bottom of the Big 12, except for West Virginia. They're kind of co-bottom dwellers. Oklahoma State, I think, won just 2 or 3 games, maybe four the whole year, a long way from even 500. They're looking for somebody who can get them back to being respectable. Their prior coach had coached with them 7 years and had 7 losing records. This is why they just said, well, sayonara, sir. That being said, I think Luntz is a definite upgrade for them. I think he'll make them tough defensively. It will really come down to what the issue is as far as recruiting to Oklahoma State, and can he get himself a couple of nice, good, solid, defensive-minded transfers in his first year from the portal to get him going in the right direction. There are a couple of those that are going to be available next year. Purdue's seniors Gillis and Morton. It will be interesting to see if he taps into those two, one or both of those two, and brings them over to play. Now, especially if I were Morton, I would be saying to him, I'll come play for you, but I want a grad assistant's job or an assistant coach's job the following year. Uh, Morton has sacrificed more than anybody for this year's Purdue team. He's an excellent player. He knows Steve Luntz's defensive ideas and schemes, and he has leadership. And him, along with Gillis, would make Oklahoma into a very strong defensive team. Uh, Steve Luntz, I think, just needs to get Oklahoma State by the year after next to around 500, and then the following year he needs to be challenging or get to an NCAA tournament, the big dance. It used to be you might have 4 or 5 years in that situation, but now it's you better start winning and looking better immediately, and you better be making the tournament by year 2 or 3. And Oklahoma State has fallen so far. I think that Luntz has an extra year. He's got 3 years to really show that they're going to be pretty much continually in the Big Ten tournament and Big Dance, the NCAA tournament. So that aside, good luck, Steve. And I've given you all the coaching and recruiting tips that I can give you. Now let's take a look at what happened last night. I don't care about UConn beating some dismal team by 30 points. Oh, they're unstoppable. No, they're stoppable. Illinois did what I said they'd do. Everybody was going Iowa State, Iowa State. And I was like, no, it'll be Illinois, and it'll come down to the best player on the floor being uh, Terrence Shannon. And it came down at the very end to the best player on the floor saying, we're going to win. And so Illinois won. There you go. Now Illinois' reward is to play UConn. On my bracket, I have 3 of my final 4 still playing. Eh, North Carolina being the first one to go out. That being said, I did take UConn in my bracket, and I did have Illinois playing UConn. Uh, if I had it all to do over again, I think I'd take Illinois, but I can't take it back. That being said, I look at this UConn Illinois game. UConn's not been tested. They've had the easiest path I've ever seen to get to the Final Four. And I admit they're just making it look easy. We'll find out. But now they're going to play a very good Big Ten team a very good offensive team, and a team that has finally decided it really wants to play good defense. That's the biggest change I've seen in Illinois, is that they're not playing good defense for 4 or 5 minutes. They're trying to play good defense for the whole game and generally succeeding. UConn playing Illinois 5 times, I would take, well, I'd be a coin toss. I'd take UConn 3 times and Illinois twice. That's enough to say that if I were a betting man, I'd lay off this game. I don't know what the spread is. If the spread is more than 4 or 5 for UConn, if I were a betting man, I'd take Illinois. If Illinois loses, it's going to be close. My gut reaction, Illinois wins this game. We could possibly see, because I'm still picking Purdue to go to the final championship game, we could see an Illinois-Purdue championship game final. And wouldn't that be saying suck it to the ACC, the Big 12, and the Big East? One can dream. All that aside, finally, I'm going to reiterate my comments about Purdue Gonzaga. I'm so tired of hearing that Gonzaga's going to win this game because they've improved. Against who? They got better after they started playing an easier schedule. They beat a Kentucky team, and look at them. That's their big win. I will say Gonzaga may be better, but Purdue beat Gonzaga by 10 or 12 points when Purdue played terribly, had a really off night, and they beat them somewhat easily. Purdue's much better, and they're playing much better. I stick with my prediction that Purdue wins this by 10, 15 or more points. That being said, I'm going to enjoy the game tonight, and if Purdue loses, and Purdue Gonzaga playing 5 times, Purdue wins 4 or 5. Purdue and Gonzaga playing 10 times, Gonzaga wins 1. Do I think this is going to be that night? No. Purdue wins. If I'm wrong, I come back tomorrow and I eat humble pie. We'll see. You take care. Have a good day.